Yo! What's good, Josh Roger, man? And today we are going to talk about what just happened. What just happened? Anyway, here we go. We're gonna talk about what just happened on the show. Obviously, considering the fact that it's nighttime, that's why I gotta talk at this volume. But anyway, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna talk about WWE Bad Blood 2024. Anyway, let's get right into this, man. We're gonna post as soon as possible. We're gonna skim through this real quick, man. But anyway, started off the show with CM Punk. I'm gonna go in order because I know what I'm excited for. You know what I mean to talk about. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Good to even great match, man. To me, what made this match great is not just the story going into it, but the fact that they didn't need to use they didn't have to overuse things like chairs, or they didn't need thumbtacks, and they didn't need kendo sticks, and basically they didn't need to beat and batter each other with a bunch of stuff for this match to be good. Because the only spot they had that really was like, it's getting gruesome, was when Punk obviously started bleeding. Excuse me. Punk already started bleeding once Drew threw him up against the cage once or twice. Good lord. Sorry, I just ate not that long ago. Anyway, then what's it called? Oh yeah, then Drew, I'm just calling the notable parts of the match. Drew got hit with a toolbox as he was reaching to grab Punk. He got bam. Got hit right in the head with the black toolbox. And that was a believable spot to bust his head open, and it did. And that's what they did. Now, there was a once where they had Drew deliver a Claymore. Punk rolls out the ring, and I think that's when that spot happened. And there was also a spot where CM Punk hit the GTS and Drew rolled out of the ring. So it's like, yeah, I can roll out the ring too, type of thing. So we get to that, and then Drew, this is not in order, I don't think, but these are just, like I said, I'm just calling out the notable stuff. Drew then went for a Claymore, and the lower part of his back hit the steel steps. And to me, bro, I about reacted. I won't say cringe, but react like, ooh, like I reacted to that just as much as I would have reacted to like a thumbtack spot. Like that is anything on any type of force, especially metal on your lower back, like, bro, you don't need thumbtacks. That's believable enough. But also, like I said, there was another spot where obviously the whole feud was Drew Punk, right? He cost him the world title. He don't want Punk in the locker room, right? Boom. So have their issues with each other, and the way that he got under Punk's skin was obviously wearing the bracelet, and he poured instead of like how you would put the thumbtacks in. Speaking of thumbtacks, right? He was usually you would have the little bag to put the thumbtacks in and pour them out. And what Drew did was, and I knew it wasn't gonna be thumbtacks because I said WWE don't do thumbtacks anymore. I think the last time they did was like 2016, something like that. I think it was like Jericho and Dean Ambrose. Funny enough, both guys that are not there, but I think that was the last time they actually did a tax spot. But anyway, instead of tax, it was the beads from the bracelet, so that symbolism was there. And I already know the feud is about a bracelet. How ridiculous! And I'm like, no, it on the surface, yeah, maybe you could say it's about a bracelet, but even if you want to use that, by the way, doesn't that go to show you how good their storytelling is? They can make a bracelet a big deal. Even then, if you know wrestling, it's not so much the bracelet, it's what the bracelet means to the good guy, right? The baby face, the hero. That's what it means to him. When you can make something mean something to a guy you really care about, it then becomes meaningful to the audience. So that's why it gets a reaction. But the fact that they can get a bracelet over goes to kind of freaking show you how WWE's got the momentum going for their company right now. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, but he poured the beads over his face, like, getting cocky, like he's about to put him away. And then I think that's when the Claymore with the snares in the way. But then Punk wrapped the steel chain around his knee, the spot that everybody tries to do nowadays, it seems, when they do these type of matches, like try to wrap something around your knee. And he wrapped the chain around his knee and delivered a GTS with the chain. 1, 2, 3. You knew that was it. You knew that was over. So I was 1-0 on predictions by this point. And keep in mind, I watched this whole thing from my car because I was delivering stuff for my job while this was happening, and I didn't think the call for the day off beforehand, so I had to watch this all while I was like driving and delivering stuff. So I caught the whole show while I was having to drive back and forth. So I only drive back and forth once, but because it's a long distance. So anyway, caught that match. I probably give that match a 9 out of 10 because obviously I can't say it was perfect, but man, served its purpose, did its job, fun to watch, and the right person won. Because even though CM Punk lost his first singles match in WWE back in the WWE, lost his first singles match, at least he won his first feud, right? He's still one of those, didn't maybe not have won the first battle, but ultimately ended up winning the war type of situation. So, which I figured out was the direction they were going to go. So I won it on predictions. Here we go. Next match, after all that carnage and chaos, and by the way, how the show ended, it made sense. It was somewhat, or to me justifiable, but to some, maybe not. But to me, they had a good enough reason to make what was the main event. I'm gonna talk about that later though. Anyway, Bayley versus Nia 2. I mean, they probably wrestled each other more than that, but as far as recent time, Bayley versus Nia 2, the rematch. Okay to decent match. Because of obvious reasons, right? It's Nia. Bayley's a good worker. I mean, she can wrestle, but she's, she knows how to work. Most definitely knows how to work. But, her wrestling is pretty good as well. And then Nia is like, again, to me, it's like with Nia, she probably works better with wrestlers that aren't going to try to pick her up. Like, she, to me, probably works better with either wrestlers that are really athletic and they're going to use that to try to beat her, or she's better off facing somebody who is both. They both can, like, throw her around like a normal person would, or like you would throw around a normal person, and they can do some of the athletic stuff in the ring. So either like a high flyer or a hybrid type of wrestler where they can do, like I said, both strength and agility in the ring. But yeah, this match was okay. I honestly, even though there was some botches, like when Nia tried to do a hurricanrana, Bayley's done this before, where somebody will do a hurricanrana on her and she'll kind of flip late, like it's like a delay. Like it's supposed to be like, okay, you go for the hurricanrana, jump up, right legs, get them, and then as you start tilting, I say that's when you flip. When they got their legs on your shoulders and they trying to flip you, or they going backward to flip you, to me, you should start trying to flip forward the second you see them leaning back. But she waited till Nia was done leaning and then she flipped. So it was just that second and a half delay that kind of didn't make it look too pretty. Not that Nia delivered a pretty hurricanrana, because it's freaking Nia delivered a hurricanrana. It's crazy in itself. So there was that, and then there was a Samoan drop attempt that it looked like Bayley countered into like a famouser. But then, or a Rough Rider, whatever, because it was like to the leg, kind of like a leg drop to the front of the face, but then it wasn't a counter because Nia went for the cover. So it was just some botches in this match. I just calling notable things. Bayley delivered an elbow off the top, didn't get the job done. Referee was knocked out for I forgot how the referee got knocked down, but got knocked down for a second. Bayley hit a move, and then she hit her finisher, the Rose Plant, where she like kind of takes the knee, where it's like she basically wraps her opponent's arm around her knee and then plants them in the face on the mat. It's kind of hard to explain, but that allowed for TV time. Feel me? Comes down to the ring, ready to cash in, but she had to kind of, wake the referee up. But by the time the referee was woken up and tried to get it to cash in started, it was too late. Nia had recovered, so she had to double back. She had to double back and say, nah, we cashing in on another day. And obviously she's doing the whole, I can explain, like I wasn't really trying to get you. So she had to, it just wasn't happening. And then it was a botched type of finish because, and I think Nia tried to hit a Bayley to belly in the match at one point, and she did, but it obviously didn't end the match. Then the ending, I think, was a little botched because Tiffany threw the briefcase at Bayley when she was on the top rope, and Bayley threw it back to her, but she didn't hit her. She just threw it at the canvas, at the apron, and Tiffany fell. I don't know why. She threw it at the apron. When Tiffany threw the briefcase at Bayley while she was on the top rope, Bayley caught it and then threw the briefcase back down to Tiffany, and Tiffany fell even though the briefcase didn't even hit her. It just hit like the apron. So I don't know what was supposed to happen. I don't know if she was supposed to maybe get her hands up so that she could boom, get hit in the face by the briefcase maybe. But anyway, it ended with the ultimately Nia hit a move, and then it was an if you hear that background, I think that's the air. But what else? Oh yeah, so then the Annihilator, where she does the bonsai drop off the top or off the second rope. Boom, 1, 2, 3, as we figure. So we were 2-0 on predictions, and so far the Hell in a Cell was great. Again, they weren't gonna follow up on that, so the only notable moment would have been maybe if Tiffany cashed in successfully. Anyway, okay, then what was next? Okay, I think it was Finn versus Damien was next. Same thing. Like, this match was like okay, decent. Like, it just didn't hit that next gear. You know, they had obviously the same people get involved, right? Carlito and JD McDonuts, McDonald's and Funko Pop. You know, Lord Farquaad, whatever you want to call him. He got involved. And it was just kind of the same thing. They got involved, but it wasn't successful. Damian Priest hit the South of Heaven chokeslam on Finn Balor, and that was it. Like, that was really all I remember. Other than just a few, you know, in the match, just in general, right? He delivered a few, like, spin kicks, and, you know, they were doing the thing, right? Forearms, chops, kicks, all that. So, you know, nothing to kind of recall, really. And there was a coup de kick. I think Damian Priest kicked out of a coup de grace. But yeah, nothing really notable. South of Heaven chokeslam into the match. Yeah, it just went, you know. And honestly, unless this match was like a banger or close to a classic, I don't really know what they expected this match to be on Bad Blood. Because on one hand, yeah, you're invested in it, but then it's like, Damian Priest and Finn Balor can put on a good match, but unless this would have been like a banger match, which it wasn't, it was like okay to decent. I don't know what else they would have done here. So Bayley and Nia, I gave that maybe a 6.5, and then this match I gave like I maybe give this a maybe 6.5, maybe close to 7, only because you would have thought more from this match was gonna. You would have thought this match would have just been better, right? Because of the heat and all that going into it. But anyway, that match was fine. So nothing outside of the Great Hell in a Cell match. We were like already almost done with this pay-per-view, and nothing happened other than the Great Hell in a Cell match. So then I think this is when we get Triple H's announcement. And the announcement was there's a Crown Jewel title. And once I saw the Crown Jewel labeling before he took the tarp off, I was like, or the covering of the belt off, I was like, oh Lord, it's something involving Crown Jewel. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe somebody's going to get a new belt. Maybe Cody's going to get a new belt, you know? Because he had actually, before he revealed it, he mentioned Cody in the promo. And I was like, oh, Cody get a new belt. And nope. So I knew my instincts were right to be skeptical about Crown Jewel being on the bottom because they revealed a Crown Jewel title. Basically, what's supposed to happen is the winner of that title is going to be a male Crown Jewel title and a women's Crown Jewel title, and how you win the title is you are going to have to face the champion from the other brand. So it's going to be like Survivor Series was back in the day, right? Champion versus champion. So there's one for the women's world title going against the WWE Women's Champion, and then the men's World Heavyweight Championship versus the WWE Champion. So it's going to be Cody versus Gunther to win the Crown Jewel belt, and then there's going to be Liv versus Nia to win the girls' Crown Jewel belt. I think this was just, I don't know. I mean, they do a lot of Bizarro World, and this is kind of, I don't know if Saudi asked for this or if WWE feels the need to do it, but either way, they always got to have some type of weird Bizarro concept when it comes to Crown Jewel, and now they gave them a belt that you can own. I guess he and Triple H said it was gonna. I mean, they get so much money from Saudi, you can kind of see why they stuck with them and are willing to do some of these weird Bizarro things. But here we go. They're gonna do, like I said, that, right? So the winner of the crown jewel belt is gonna be either Cody or Gunther, and then for the women, it's gonna be either Liv or Nia. So whoever's the champion by the time we get there, that's who's gonna face the other world champion from the other brand, and that's how it's gonna go down. But anyway, I don't know. Like I say, it's one of those bizarre world things, and he said it was going to be an annual event, so that's why I say, okay, I guess they're just going to do this kind of Survivor Series-esque thing where you're going to have your world champions compete. Now, my problem with this, before I move on to what happened after that announcement, I don't know who loses between Gunther and Cody, because I would assume they're going to be the champions. Good match. Great match, even, we could see. To me, these are two of the best wrestlers in the world right now. I said in WWE, two of the best wrestlers in the world are the world champions. Cody, because if you look at who's consistently had good matches in WWE, it's been the world champions, actually. Cody and Gunther, as far as just consistently having good matches, have been the world champions. So the world champions are truly the two best wrestlers in the world, man. So fitting that we really got two of the best wrestlers in the world as the world champions, been consistently putting on bangers. So like I said, with this, I don't know who loses between Cody and Gunther. Gunther, you know, they want to protect whoever beats him. They really want to protect that. But then do you continuously dampen Cody as the champion by having Gunther win? I don't know. Because maybe Cody would have to lose, only because if the WWE champion beats the world heavyweight champion, then that kind of diminishes what Gunther's been trying to build with that world heavyweight title that still needs to be established. So I don't know if they're going to have Gunther win it or Cody. But either way, they're going to pin the world champions against each other. I think Cody might lose, maybe to kind of balance out the prestige of the world title, because if the world heavyweight champion just beat the WWE champion, maybe that can help balance the prestige of both world titles. I don't know. But and then Liv and Nia, I just don't want to see that, because like I said, Nia is not an attraction to me in the ring. As far as like somebody you want to see wrestle, she doesn't have enough charisma or great in-ring ability, even though she's doing better. To me, she doesn't have a great enough in-ring ability for me to be like, oh, I want to see her in a wrestling match. Like, me personally, nah. But if Tiffany catches in before that, most definitely will want to see Tiffany and Liv. I mean, you got a hell of an athlete in Tiffany. Liv is doing her thing in the ring and has obviously, progressed, gotten better, can move around, doesn't really botch often. So that's a match right there. But I don't know if they're going to do that. And I would say maybe you have Tiffany winning beforehand, but before that, but she didn't win it on this night. And then Nia would be a transitional champion, and then this would be like the fourth time, if she wins it before Crown Jewel, this would be like the fourth time we've seen a new champion happen on TV this year, because both the tag titles changed on Raw and SmackDown. Intercontinental title changed on Raw, and if you do a cash in on Nia, that'll be another televised, like, free TV world title change this year. That'll be like the fourth time that's happened. So I don't know. But anyway, moving along, we're going to, after that, Gunther came to the ring and said, hey man, just like how apropos, I think he said to Triple H, that like, you were raising my arm in my hand when I won the King of the Ring in Saudi, and now you're gonna be giving me this new Saudi belt when we go back to Saudi by way of Crown Jewel this year. So hey, I won King of the Ring in Saudi, and you raised my arm, and ain't nothing gonna be different at Crown Jewel when he beats Cody. Then he called out Bill Goldberg. He said, Goldberg, you might have seen on Monday Night Raw that I said you were my favorite wrestler when I was, when they were in Calgary and Bret Hart was the guest, and he came out and interrupted him and told him that was his favorite wrestler was Goldberg. Obviously, he just said that get underneath his skin, because then Gunther said, why would the greatest wrestler in the world right now, me, and in this modern generation, me, the greatest wrestler in the world, how would he admire a one-trick pony like you? And it makes sense, though. Not that Goldberg wasn't goated, but it makes sense. With the way Gunther knows how to wrestle anybody, why would somebody who only had the same two tricks up his sleeve, even though it was captivating and he drew money, why would a guy like that look up to a guy like that? It wouldn't add up. So it made sense. And then the best line to me, not just that, but it was, the best line. Gunther is, to me, he's doing like what I've seen MJF do in AEW, in a sense of, he is just like, he knows how to do this whole prick heel type of promo. Like he's being a prick on purpose. And it's like, bro, come on, man. And he's doing it with a smile. Like, that's what I mean by that saying. This is kind of what MJF was doing in his, like, peak, prime, heyday, whatever you want to say. This is what he was doing on a week-to-week basis. And now I think Gunther's doing it in WWE as far as just, whether he's getting under the skin of legends, but, you know, he just purposely is just disrespecting these people, man. Whether it's Sammy or Priest or whoever, now Bill Goldberg, so disrespecting the legends, right? He disrespected Bret Hart. Now he disrespected Goldberg when he said this line. He said, I hope, not verbatim, but, you know, it was the same thing. I hope you're a better, I think he said, I hope you're a better father than you are a wrestler. And man, it was something along the lines of like, you know, kind of like, you know, it's not, you know, you can't be raising your kid that good if your parenting is anything like your wrestling, and that kid ain't gonna be raised right. And he didn't say that, but he was basically saying, I hope, you know, basically saying, like, comparing, like, saying that his wrestling was bad and subpar, and saying that, you know, Gage, his son, is screwed if his father's fathering, parenting is anything like his wrestling. Basically is what he was saying. Man, what a line. And Goldberg wasn't dealing with that. He hopped over that barricade. Obviously Goldberg's from Georgia, which was where Bad Blood was, and he was in attendance. A lot of other legends were too, like Booker T and Mickey James and Scott Steiner and DDP and X-Pac and others were all there. But, you know, Goldberg's from Georgia, so he hopped that barricade, and then security got involved to back him up, and then Sammy out of nowhere comes in and beats down Gunther for, you know, him getting beat down on Raw multiple times, so it made sense that he would want to do that. So, look at Sammy defending Bret and Goldberg. I don't know how they gonna feel about that, you know, because they don't like each other, so I don't know how they feel about the same guy defending their honor. Which side are you on, Sammy? Anyway, but anyway, yeah. That's how that segment of the show ended. I think they just did that to eat up time and to get out the Saudi announcement. Like I said, don't know how I really feel about the Saudi thing. It's just, I don't know about pinning the world champions against each other, because I thought we were doing good getting away from that at Survivor Series, but such is life. Next match after all that fiasco, I think that was the fill up with what could have been another match on the card. I think that kind of was what filled that up. But anyway, like kind of like the intermission. But anyway, next thing was Liv versus Rhea for the Women's World Championship. Yes. So yeah, both the Women's World titles were defended on this. And I forgot to say, I was 3-0 on predictions. By the time we got done with Punk, Priest, and Nia, I was killing it with the predictions. 3-0. Here's where that was over. My streak. The streak is over, if you know the reference. Anyway, Liv versus Rhea Women's World Championship. Dom got in the shark cage. Not many things that happened in this match that I need to really call word for word. I mean, it was really Liv working on Rhea's leg. She did that cool little move again where it's like a crucifix pin, where she got kind of like the arm and the leg wrapped around the back of Rhea's arms, and she can like basically like tilt her over and she lands on the back of her neck. It was a good move when we saw that Bash in Berlin, and now it's good to know it's part of her moveset now, because it looks freaking good, even though it obviously requires a little bit of cooperation, but still looks good. Fits her freaking underneath promiscuous cowardly heel persona. So she did that move again. I think Corey Graves called it the home wrecker, or that's what Liv told him to call it, but it's just like that move, man. But anyway, there was a cool spot where Liv went for the Oblivion, where she kind of clotheslines her onto the rope and then goes back into a flatliner. Like, basically Rhea flipped over and kind of landed on her feet. That to me was a nice freaking counter. Just like some notable things in the match. And then the story of the match was Liv going after Rhea's leg, so she was wrapping it around the pose, dragon screw leg whips, all that type of stuff. And basically she was beating up Liv after a certain point, and she told the ref, hey, let me beat up Dom. Basically saying, let me beat up Dom for a second. I'll get back to Liv in a minute. And the ref was like, all right. So the ref had some lenience or leniency, whatever the word is there. And she basically went into the ring, got a kendo stick, and started beating Dom up. Because earlier, this is where I was about to mention, the scary spot was Dom had fell out. So Dom had got the cage open somewhere in the match, and then he fell out the cage. But I didn't know he was like tied to a chain. It was like his ankle. It was like a chain tied to something that was on his ankle. So Dom was just dangling from the cage. He's outside of the cage dangling because his leg was, like I said, had some type of ankle thing that had a chain on it that was like intertangled with the cage so that he didn't fall, But I was like, whoa, when I first saw him fall out. But yeah, so he was just dangling upside down, and Rhea goes to work and treats him like a Dom Yada. Just bam, bam, just like it, swinging at Dom, but the only thing coming out is freaking welts and bruises. Ain't no candy coming out. It's just welts and bruises that Dom is gonna wake up with. And yeah, that was happening. And then the weird finish. This is where my streak was broken, but kind of half broken. You guys can decide. But basically, as we figured and as I predicted, Raquel comes out, but she didn't help Liv win the match because she went, and as she was attacking Dom with the kendo stick was Rhea, Raquel comes in and hits her from behind, throws her into the ring, delivers a power bomb, and the ref calls for the bell. Now the thing was, the ref went outside of the ring to check on, or like maybe get Rhea to stop, because it's like, all right, now we gotta get back to the match. And the ref waited like a whole 20 seconds and then rung the bell. Like, he didn't ring the bell immediately after Rhea got hit. He rung it like 20 seconds after that. So either something else was supposed to happen, or that just was what was supposed to happen, right? Raquel beats up Rhea, and that's the bell, right? They didn't want to do the referee bump, and then, or referee's back is turned, power bomb to Rhea, throws Liv on top of her for the cover. They didn't want to do that finish. So Rhea wins by disqualification, but I said that Liv Morgan would win and stay the world champion. Well, technically she stayed the world champion, but she didn't win the match. So I don't know if that gives me a 3.5 or whether that gives me just no points at all. I don't get a 3.5 out of 5. That's just 3.5 or a 3. So y'all decide what y'all want to, because I was basing it off of who was going to walk out with the belt, not necessarily who was going to be the champion. I wasn't thinking about like disqualifications and all that. But anywho, get on. But that was kind of, yeah. But good to see Raquel back, in good health again. Obviously there's that history because Raquel has had a few matches with Rhea Ripley when Rhea was champion, and her and Liv were tag team champions. So they all got history. So it's not like this is out of nowhere. So they're gonna tell that story on Monday Night Raw. So there was, even though I don't think this pay-per-view was like, oh my god, great, but it was definitely notable things coming out of it. So moving on to the last match, here we go, the tag match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Ow! Samoan Werewolf. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the OTC Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. A lot of Samoans in there, so I get a little confused. Anyway, what happened in this match was the entrances was plain and simple. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu go to the ring. Then they had a marching band play Cody out to the ring. And then they had a different band. So there was a marching band for Cody. They played Cody's music. And then Cody's music played. And, they did their whole shindig there. Then, because, so Cody's the hometown boy. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, so he got a nice reception. And then Roman, I felt, probably got a little bit of a bigger reception, even though this is Cody's home turf. But anyway, Roman gets so y'all have the marching band, then you have the classical band, right? I've been in band for 4 years, So then they had that classical band where they were like normal clothes or like, more, professional clothing. So they're playing the drums, right? Because remember, Roman has those drums at the beginning. So they're playing the drums, and Roman has like drummers and violinists playing him down to the ring, like the band type, not like a drum, like on the cymbals and that, but like just bass, like singular drums, like playing him to the ring like a classical type of band. And then so Cody had the marching band, Roman had the more classical type of band, which kind of fits their character and vibe anyway. Comes down to the ring, Roman is freaking jacked. He has been working out, so y'all don't call him lazy, man, because if you looked at the physique, the freaking abs, bro, the dude is working on has been working on the health, so I don't want to hear it. He stayed in WrestleMania shape. That's what I call it, because that's when he was the most in shape. Is right. WrestleMania 40 is probably when he had his best shape, and he kept it, man. So Roman's coming out there locked and loaded. Both guys are ready to go. Notable things from the match. Took a lot to take up Jacob Fatu. Obviously, they're building him as a monster, so there was a disaster kick. It didn't do enough. Jacob went for a super kick, missed it. Cody, I think, hit him with something, and yeah, took a lot to take out Jacob. Match obviously started at a slower pace because they know everybody cares about everybody in the ring, so you don't have to go at 100 miles per hour. But the match pick up pace. Trying to think if I remember anything else. Roman had a few. They built up the hot tag right when Cody was about to tag Roman. He got pulled off the apron by Jacob. Then they finally got the hot tag. Roman starts beating up Solo. So that happens. He goes for a spear, and then I think that's when the Tongan brothers came out and interrupted Roman's spear or a Superman punch or one or the other. But eventually Roman in there hit a Superman punch on Solo. And like I said, Tongan brothers got involved. And then after they got involved, though, I don't know if it was referee's back was turned, whether they actually got involved or whether they were a distraction. I forget which one. Anyway, they were distracted, and then they see a man in a hoodie with a bandana around his face, and it's like, what? Like, what going on? And it was Jimmy freaking Uso. Super kicked both of the guys, the Italian brothers, revealed himself, and then the spear for the 1-2-3 on Solo Sikoa. So that's where I was 3-2 on predictions. Thought Solo was gonna pin Roman to maybe build to a match towards Crown Jewel, but Roman ended up pinning Solo, so that's how they did it. And they had Jimmy come back, man. So the second return we saw tonight. And the only other notable thing that happened in the actual match is Cody delivered like two super. He delivered. I think he threw Jacob through the barricade, or maybe Jacob tried to do something and went through the barricade, and that wasn't enough. He got back up, and then he delivered a crossroads to Jacob on the floor, and he was stirring. Like, he was rocked, but he was still getting up to his feet. And it's like, building him as that kind of monster there. And then he delivered two super kicks, and then kind of did what Jacob did to him, right? Full circle moment. When Jacob Fatu debuted, he splashed Cody through the announce table. So Cody splashed him through the announce table, right? Pointed at Roman like, hey, I'm letting you know I got your back, because I'm freaking putting myself through all this to take out Jacob. And he jumped off that post and did the same thing. Splashed him from the top of the ring post through the announce table. So that's the only other thing that happened. So both of them got back in the ring. And then the Tongan brothers started beating up Tama Tangaloa. Started beating up Roman Reigns alongside of, Solo Sikoa, getting some beatings in. And Jacob was like, what we gonna do? You the chief, boom, boom, boom. Like, what you gonna do? Like Jimmy was asking Roman what he gonna do, and saying, hey, I'm gonna follow by your lead. You the chief, type of thing. And also to mention Jimmy and Roman, I think they did hug after the match was over, I think, after they pinned Solo, I think he hugged Jimmy, and then, they left the ring. And Cody was getting beat up, and then, like I said, Jimmy was asking Roman, "What you gonna do?" Because he you the chief, bro. I'm following you, doing what you want to do. And then Roman's thinking about it. He's like, do I freaking help this guy? I told him I was gonna help him in the match. The match over. I don't need to. And he's like, nah, fine. Boom. Roman gets down there. Jimmy, they clear out the ring. Super kick, Superman punch, get all the Solo and his team out of the ring, and Jacob's still taken out from the announce table. So they clear the ring, and so it's Jimmy, Roman, and Cody left in the ring. And after they beat them up, Roman picks up Cody's title and reluctantly, hesitantly gives that title back to Cody, even though he looked like he didn't want to. And then Cody's raising the title. And as he's raising the title up, and the crowd's about to pop for it, right? Because, there's like, yay, because Cody's the champion, so he raised the belt. But right before he gets it all the way up, and the crowd is, like I said, they're starting to cheer as the babyface raises the belt. But then they changed their tone and their attention, because then they heard, if you smell, and then they, they're freaking, big pop, because a freaking megastar, The Rock, the final boss, Bloodline Moves. The final boss comes back, and like I said, if y'all been watching me for an extended period of time, you know that is to me the GOAT. If you check out my top 20 GOAT video I made, you can search it up on YouTube, DJ Espargaro Top 20, GOATs of pro wrestling, WWE, whatever. He's the one, bro. You talk about the ones Roman does, but I say Roman. I mean, The Rock. My number one, my favorite, to me is the greatest of all time. I've explained why I think that is, but that is the GOAT. Real talk. Unless I get in the game, then. But anyway, The Rock comes down to the ring, my GOAT. So I went crazy. Like I said, I was in the car the whole time this PLE was going on. So I was in my car, parked, going nuts, going crazy, like, let's go. Like, I wish I would have my reaction on record, but all I had was my phone, so I couldn't record my reaction and watch it at the same time, because I would have had to listen for The Rock's music, then I would have had to come to my phone, record it would have just been too much, and it wouldn't have been as authentic. So boom, The Rock comes out, he does his thing, standing there like the boss, you know what I mean? But not the boss, but the final boss. And he does this. He goes 1, 2, 3, and then he goes like this, like katok. Like, y'all are cooked, y'all are done, y'all are over, y'all are finished. Now that's what we thinking that means. We thinking that means that The Rock saying that one of y'all is cooked. Could be Roman, could be. Well, if it's Roman, if it's Jimmy, then Roman getting it. But anyway, so yeah, he told him that they cooked. He did the people's eyebrow. I can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do the raising one eyebrow. Anyway, he did that when the camera zoomed in on him, and then you see a dude with the phone recording like this right outside the entryway. He's got the phone like this, and apparently that was the dude, probably on Rock's media team, that was recording for his Instagram live, because I think he went live right, like literally 3 seconds before his music played. He went live on Instagram, or his media guy went live on his Instagram to record him. And yeah, so that's what happened. So The Rock was already reportedly in Georgia, and I thought to myself, and I predicted he would come back, and he did. The Rock was already confirmed to be in Georgia for a football game. So wow, Rock is there for a football game in Georgia at the same time that Bad Blood is also. 1 + 1 is 2, man. Because you remember when he was in Colorado last year, he was in Colorado it was like fall 2023. He was in Colorado, and SmackDown was in Colorado. Shocker to no one, The Rock was in freaking SmackDown. He showed up to SmackDown in Colorado. But anyway, it's the same thing here. He was there for another football game that was in the same state for WWE's one of their shows, in this case the PLE Bad Blood. So boom, Rock returns, my GOAT returns at Bad Blood. We haven't seen him since the Raw after WrestleMania this year, so he's been gone for a while. And man, the pop he got, I think that might have been a bigger pop than the one Roman got at SummerSlam just 2 months ago, or almost 2 months ago. So the second you try to get a modern guy like Roman Reigns, you're like, oh, maybe he's the new GOAT. Maybe you can put him above a Rock and Stone Cold because of the way they built him up and how he's gotten over. And the crowd was going OTC all crazy in the entrance too. So I must mention that they were chanting that like crazy throughout the night when he was in the match and even in his entrance. But man, you think maybe you could put him above one of the GOATs from the past? You can put him in front of some, but man, once you hit her, and then the crowd just loses it. Everybody in unison just loses their minds. You go, nah, nope, still ain't past him. He still ain't past The Rock. Sorry. You still ain't past him. I know he's like 52, 50. You still ain't surpassed him as the GOAT, bro. Still, nope. And so, yeah, Roman's looking kind of like with his serious face like this, and Cody's got that like he's tired, he's been through it type of look. So that's the facial expression they were making when they saw The Rock at the rampway. But anyway, last thing that happened. So you would have thought, okay, that was the end of the show that we saw that was televised, right? I watched the rest of Rock's Instagram live. He was just talking his trash. There wasn't a whole lot of insight. He saw Stone Cold on the little truck that they got and said, hey, that's my brother. Shout out to my brother Stone Cold. He took a little Terramana, a little drink for Stone Cold. He said it was a picture of Dusty on the truck, and he said, love you, Dusty, but I hate your son. And then he saw John Cena on one of the little trucks that they got, and he said, go eat your Fruity Pebbles. Okay. Oh man, if we get to see Rock versus Cena 3 next year, thrice in a lifetime, even though it probably shouldn't happen a third time, but I'm still there for it, But anyway, he's my childhood GOAT and my teenage GOAT / GOAT of all time. going at it. Nah, that's crazy. Anyway, just sidetracking. Now you think that's the end of the show, and for the televised show, that was the end. But it wasn't the end, because then I saw on Twitter, I posted it on my Twitter, DJ the Prodigy on Twitter, DJ the Prodigy on Twitter. Well, DJ the Prodigy on Twitter, Instagram, and pretty much everywhere you can find social media. I use about 3 social medias, so including this one, this will be 4. So TikTok, Instagram, probably Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Yep, DJ the Prodigy. So I posted it on my Twitter page. What, like WTF? Because I seen the clip of Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes right outside his tour bus. Like, he is big, like, I guess they were talking, arguing or whatever. He pushed him a little bit. Did Kevin push Cody a little bit, and then he just threw a right hand and beat the brakes off of him. So I'm thinking, I've said in my videos before, I'm thinking they saving the turn for Randy and then maybe Kevin later. But no, they said, nah, you know what? We going through with it. Kevin's still turning. So they had Kevin Owens turn on Cody Rhodes. And it wasn't televised, like it was fan cameras that caught it. And they'll probably show the clip on, SmackDown or whatever. So Kevin Owens turned heel, but it wasn't on Bad Blood. They went about it differently. They did it to make it seem a little more raw and genuine. They just had it was just fans that caught it on their camera. And yeah, he beat up Cody Rhodes right outside his tour bus, and Kevin Owens officially has turned heel. And it wasn't on TV, it wasn't on SmackDown, Bad Blood, none of that. It was after Bad Blood, a non-televised. So the crash out was truly, I know the song GTA from Future, how they crash out. That was the song with Bad Blood, man. They were doing it in Bad Blood and after Bad. So before and after Bad Blood was just, and in Bad Blood, just crashing out. Maybe not. Well, before that was some crash, but anyway. Final Boss is back, The Rock is back, Raquel is back, Jimmy's back, all, fun and good things. So I give this show about an 8.5 out of 10, because even though the matches in between in the middle were decent, to me what made up for them was the returns that we got, especially my GOAT, The Rock return. Come on, man, that'll always bring it up a point. So 8.5 to me, this show was out of 10. Like I said, to me, it doesn't get a 9 because the matches in the middle were just not good. Or they were okay. Like, it just wasn't nothing to go. Yeah. So, but 8.5 because those returns totally boosted the number. Anyway, I don't know if Kevin is maybe gonna cost Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel against Gunther. Maybe that's how you get another match between them. I don't know. It's y'all know it's like the first week of November is Crown Jewel, so. Got a little time to get there, but anyway, I don't know. But that's why we got Raw and SmackDown, right? Do we see The Rock go after Roman or Cody first? I mean, he said he would come back for Cody, but hey, he might have some issues with Roman teaming up with Cody, man, because that was the guy they were trying to make sure didn't win the WWE Championship, and now you teaming with him. So a lot of with Kevin Owens turning heel, like just Raquel coming back, Jimmy's back, Rock's back, Kevin turned heel after the show, like. A lot of questions coming out of a PLE, which is what you always want. Big moments and questions coming out of it to lead you into next week. But at the end of the day, what can I say? This what it is. What's going to be is a Prodigy continue to come out with content, man. But like, comment, subscribe before you leave here. But until I see you guys, love and appreciate you guys. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers, man. 1,000 to 4 digits. We at like 984, 85. Let's run that up to 1,000 4 digits. But until then, I'll see you guys again. This is DJ White. So without further ado, let's get it. Till I see you young boys and girls the next one. I'm going to be right here every time to meet you guys up. But I'll see you guys. Peace.